Welcome back to 101 Sports, where I'm now joined by our experts on the hardwood, Darren Vaught and Stephen A. Harris. And today you guys get to play a little doctor and pretend like you've been to medical school for the last 15 years of your life. And you are going to assess some of the early injuries that have occurred to some of these teams in the NBA so far this year. We'll determine whether it's a big-time injury, if the team should be really concerned, so on and so forth. So Darren, we'll start with you. The Memphis Grizzlies, reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Marc Gasol, MCL sprain. How serious?
Well, Ryan, I'm going to preface this statement with no, I did not, in fact, go to medical school because I'm pretty sure a real ice pack would not take care of a real MCL sprain like Marc Gasol has. But the proverbial ice pack will do just fine in this matter. He's going to be about a month before he gets back on the court. The Grizzlies, to me, are a team that's offensively inept anyways, so I don't see them falling very far even with their struggles. Kosta Koufos, though,
stepped in well.
Yeah, he's done pretty well so far, about 6 rebounds per game. I think he can hold it over.
That's fair. I'm going to preface this by saying, unlike you, I actually did go to medical school.
Go on.
And I'm going to give the Memphis Grizzlies this crutch right here.
Okay.
Because Marc Gasol's not flashing anyway. He's not leading them in any statistics. But he makes a difference. He's arguably one of the best, the best player on that team. He's averaging over 16 points per game, averaging over 7 rebounds per game.
Huge on defense.
Exactly. He's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. That means something. And when you lose that, I don't know how well Kosta Koufos can fill in over that whole time. Because while they don't have much far to fall, they do have something to prove after being a Western Conference runner-up last year, and they need to step it up.
The Grizzlies already had a rough start to the season. Now losing Gasol certainly doesn't help them. All right, moving on to the Houston Rockets, who have played pretty well so far. They lose their backup guard, Jeremy Lin, their point guard. Jeremy Lin, how serious for the Rockets?
Well, I'm going to give them the Band-Aid right here.
Nothing too big?
Because, like you said, he's the backup point guard. You lose your backup point guard, that's not really a big deal.
Him and Howard have been good, though.
I guess, but again, I feel like their focus isn't in their point guard play. You could really just have anybody who can get some decent passing skills because you're going to run the offense through James Harden, Dwight Howard, and Chandler Parsons. So you lose one point guard as long as you have somebody in there who has decent passing skills, then you're fine.
Yeah, Stephen A., I'm with you. We're going with the Band-Aid. This is not a huge injury. He's only going to be about 2 to 4 weeks out. This is a team that leads the NBA in scoring, just over 109 points per game. They've still got James Harden. They still are bringing in the boards with Dwight Howard. They're going to be just fine offensively. They're loaded at guard. Patrick Beverley, obviously the better point guard of the two, he and Lin. But they do need Lin back.
Yes.
You know, he's a streaky guy anyways. So they're going to need him back to go on some runs.
The Rockets are loaded with offensive talent, and a guy who really can instigate that offensive talent is a guy like Jeremy Lin. So he certainly does help, but I agree with you guys. Not too big of a loss for the Rockets. All right, newly acquired Andre Iguodala has a big hamstring injury. Right now he's out indefinitely. How serious for the Warriors?
So I'm a little worried about this one. Golden State picked up Iggy, and he was going to be the difference maker. So far this season, he has been. He is their versatile defender, a guy that down the stretch they can put on any team's best man.
And that game-winning shot against
and try and consistent. And he's not bad offensively as well. This is serious. I'm going with the crutch because points per game, per 100 possessions allowed by the Golden State Warriors since his absence has gone up by 10. 10 points per every 100 possessions.
I'm going to go with the ice pack because that team is an offense-first team. You do lose that defensive presence, that outside guy who can lock down out in the perimeter, and that's fair. But they're an offense-first team. You still got Curry averaging over 22 points per game. You got Thompson averaging over 20. Harrison Barnes is a good forward. If he's playing
almost another version, a younger version.
Exactly,
of
he's playing very similar to the way Iguodala is, and he's taller. So they're pretty much the same team that they were last year, and that team
but that's
upset
a problem.
the Nuggets.
That's
and
a
he's
problem.
Not out forever. If he was out for the season, most definitely the crutch.
It's a hamstring though.
But
Those
he's
can
coming
linger,
back,
and I worry with his age.
He'll come back and he'll be.
I'm with Darren just because the Warriors you're right. The Warriors are that team last year without Andre Iguodala, and for the Warriors to go to that next level, which is the Warriors' ultimate goal, they have to have Andre Iguodala healthy. So him being hurt is a big warning sign for the Warriors. Coming up next, Jake will sit down with our favorite college football experts to take a look back at the memorable weekend that was.